Hello, class. Today we are going to have a look at DC Universe Classics Wave 9, figure number 3, Guardian, in all of his primary color goodness. First time in 6-inch. Probably the first time ever, because who gives a damn? But anyways, I'm sorry, I digress. We're going to look at this figure. It's probably going to be one of those ones that you buy because you want a piece of the Build-A-Figure. It comes with, well, it doesn't tell us much there, but it comes with a leg. We'll look at that in a second. And then on the back, we can see some of the other figures that come in this wave. We've got Wildcat, Deadshot, there's Guardian, Black Adam, Mantis, Black Canary, and Green Arrow. And they together come with pieces to build, I'm going to say Chemo. I know, I keep saying I don't know how to say it. So there's a picture of our friend Guardian, a quick biography. Jim Harper was an ordinary rookie cop when he donned a costume, took up a shield, and became the crime fighter known as the Guardian. And we don't really know why, but I guess he decided being a cop wasn't enough. He soon found himself battling alongside other costume crime fighters against larger scale menaces, but he took on his greatest responsibility when he became the leader of the youths known as the Newsboy Legion. There's a legion of newsboys out there. Oh my goodness. They helped him fight injustice, and he helped them finish their homework. Seriously. Now, little Billy, you can't go outside and fight crime until you finish your multiplication tables. Yes, Guardian? Seriously, what the hell's up with that? His first appearance, Star Spangled Comics in 1942. That explains it, 1942. He was a policeman, a crime fighter. He's in Metropolis. Probably means he's paired up with Superman on occasion, and he's a good athlete. Possesses a nearly indestructible shield and helmet. Because he needs the helmet. Yeah. You know, if a zombie could get a hold of that helmet, it would be nigh unstoppable. But anyways, there's our look at the package for our friend the Guardian. There's that leg of Chemo. Oh my god. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, and we're going to have a closer look. I'll be back in a second. And we're back. We're still looking at Guardian. Isn't that the name of a drugstore? At any rate, here's a quick look at the figure, 360. Then we'll talk about this figure a little bit more. Now, I guess maybe we'll just start off with the colors. I don't know. Now again, it's a product of the age, right? Way, way back. And I guess, was it the golden era of comic books? Like the really, really old days, the 40s, 50s. That was what you did. You just put characters in the brightest colors possible. That way they were outstanding because, you know, you just didn't see that kind of thing. So we've got the blue. I don't know what shade of blue that is, but we've got the bright, bright yellow for his underpants, his gauntlets, his head, and his boots. In terms of the mold, this is just about the most generic DCUC figure I have seen so far. Now again, well, actually I shouldn't say my exposure with these is as limited. I used to say that, but I'd have a few of these now. I don't know if I've seen a figure that is quite as generic as this one is. Maybe one or like well, there's other ones that'll come close, but really this is probably the standard mold. Like if they have a standard male mold, this would be it. The only thing that's even remotely different about this figure is the head, and as you can see, actually that is a little bit worth looking at. We can see his face sculpt there, which isn't too bad, and the one thing that is going for it, this figure, is that it does look like the helmet is a separate piece that they mounted on top. It's not just part of the same mold. At least it looks like it's separated. Or at least it was put on at some point. Now in terms of articulation, as I said, standard, so his head's going to go all the way around. His arm's going to go all the way around at the shoulder, up here at the shoulder as well, rotate at the bicep, bend at the elbow, and his hand's going to go all the way around. He's got that middle joint in the torso so he can bend forward and go back. We can rotate him all the way around at the waist, his hips, leg goes forward and back, and the double joint so it can go out. We can bend at the knee, rotate there at the thigh, and then bend his ankle. Now, before I even get to the accessories for this figure, there's one thing I should point out, and I don't know if it's just this figure or if it's all of them, but the head on this dude is really, really loose. Like if we can grab him and we can just spin him around so he's doing an exorcist thing, and that's just from holding on and just giving it a good little shake. We can spin his head around. I don't think it's supposed to be quite like that. We were spinning. See, there you go. Not too good. It is pretty wobbly. It's almost bobblehead wobbly. Not too fond of that. The rest of the articulation, you know, it's pretty much, as I said, standard. It's what we would expect from this figure. In terms of his accessories, he does come with this shield. And is it supposed to look, kind of reminds me of a police badge. I'm guessing that's probably the point. We can slip that on. And now he's so much more dynamic because he's got a shield. I don't know who came out first, but I'm wondering if this is a Captain America ripoff. I don't know about you guys out there, but if I was going to go fight crime, yeah, I might grab a shield, but I'd grab something else from my other hand too. Because, you know, you can smash things with shields, but you can smash things with maces and swords probably a little bit better. But that's okay because he's a defender, guardian, right? That's the whole point. So there he is. Now, the reason you buy this figure, unless you're one of the 2 people out there that's a huge Guardian fan, you buy it for this thing. The leg of Chemo. And if we look at it, we'll stand Guardian straight up here for a second, or pretty close to straight up. There we go. We can see the leg is almost as big as he is. So once we assemble this thing, just based on the leg, it's probably going to be, what, similar size to Kilowog, right? Now, I don't know nothing about Chemo. It's a big walking pile of toxic waste, as I understand, but we know, just from the size of the leg, it's going to be big, which is awesome. So back to Guardian, you know, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this figure. It's average. Now, to be fair, it's not because the figure itself is bad. I just kind of get the feeling they didn't have a whole lot to work with based on the original character design. But it is one of those figures where you can tell they added it to the line because you want to Build-A-Figure. You're not going to see too many of these legs floating around on the internet, but you might see lots of these floating around because who the hell wants Guardian? To me, this one isn't even one I'd really display with the rest of them. I never heard of the character before this figure, before I bought this figure, and it just doesn't really do anything for me. It's a dude who wears bright blue and yellow, carries a crappy looking yellow shield. Totally not impressed. If I was going to give this figure a grade, I'd give it a C-. There's nothing, well, besides the fact that the head is wobbly, which is why a little bit less than average, since it's C-. But there's just nothing special about it either. The accessory is nothing to get excited about, the colors are nothing to get excited about, and if there is a generic DC figure mold, it's this one. Even Shark had a little more interest in him than that. And I really, really hated the Shark. So, I think that is going to wrap up our look at Guardian from DC Universe Classics. Thank you very much. Class is dismissed.